Have you ever been ridiculed? Have you been mocked or shamed because of childlessness? If you have experienced this pain or know someone who has, this message is for you. In this video, I will share profound lessons from the life of a woman who faced relentless scorn and shame due to her childlessness, yet transformed her deepest pain into an inspiring testimony of hope and faith. Before we dive into the lessons, let us briefly talk about Hannah. Her incredible story is found in 1 Samuel chapter 1, where we meet a woman who endured intense ridicule and mockery from those around her. Hannah was the beloved wife of Elkanah, a man with two wives. While Elkanah cherished her deeply, his other wife, Peninnah, had many children and seized every opportunity to taunt Hannah about her inability to conceive. In fact, in 1 Samuel chapter 1 verse 6, we can see that Peninnah was deliberate and intentional about always provoking Hannah, always reminding her of her childlessness. Indeed, Hannah's pain was overwhelming, but instead of succumbing to bitterness or fighting back, what did she do? She chose a different path. She poured out her pain before God in heartfelt prayers. Her husband, Elkanah, though loving and supportive, couldn't fully grasp the depth of her sorrow, and her longing for a child only grew stronger under Peninnah's constant mockery. Yet, through her unwavering faith and persistence, Hannah's story took a miraculous turn. God answered her prayers, and she became the mother of Samuel, one of the Israel's greatest prophets, a living testament to God's faithfulness. Hannah's story teaches us so much about responding to life's most painful moments. We all face these painful moments at one time or another. The first lesson we can learn from her is how to transform pain into prayer. Instead of letting the ridicule and suffering define her, she chose to turn her pain into an intimate conversation with God. This is something a lot of women are not doing today, especially when they are looking for the fruit of the womb. And this is also what so many people are not doing today when they are being laughed at or ridiculed. Imagine facing constant ridicule and mockery, and instead of retreating into bitterness or despair, you choose to pour out your heart in prayer. This is what Hannah did. In 1 Samuel chapter 1 verse 10, the Bible says, "And she was in bitterness of soul, and prayed unto the Lord, and wept sore." Rather than allowing the mockery and pain to consume her, she took it all to God in honest, raw prayer. This teaches us that when the journey of waiting for the fruit of the womb feels unbearable, the best place to turn to is God. Pour out your heart before Him, just as Hannah did. He listens, He cares, and He answers in His perfect time. Even when it seems like all hope is lost, always remember that God is never late. His timing is always perfect for the blessings He had prepared for you. Before I move on to the next lesson, I need to share something personal with you. I too have faced moments when life felt overwhelming, and it was in those moments of adversity that I found the opportunity to build my prayer muscle. Challenges were not just breaking me, they were building my spiritual resilience, helping me to pray with more intensity and trust in God. Now let's move on to the next lesson from Hannah's story. Hannah's response to her own suffering was not only about prayer, but also about the attitude she took when provoked. The second lesson we learn from her is about responding with grace, not anger, an essential principle for navigating life's toughest challenges. Hannah's co-wife Peninnah taunted her mercilessly, but when Eli the priest wrongly accused her of being drunk, Hannah did not retaliate. Instead, she chose grace. In 1 Samuel chapter 1 verse 15, she replied, "No, my Lord, I am a woman of a sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord." What do you think would have happened if Hannah had lashed out at Eli for his harsh words? Of course, she wouldn't have received her blessing. God used Eli to announce her miracle, but if Hannah had responded in anger, she would have missed that opportunity. Most times, the devil tries to provoke us to anger, especially when something good is about to happen. In marriage, when God is about to bless you, the devil often tries to use your spouse to trigger conflict and anger. Don't let anger disrupt the flow of God's blessings into your life. Instead, choose to respond with grace as Hannah did, and watch how God will turn your situation around. Though Hannah's journey was filled with challenges, she never let go of her faith, even in the face of disappointment. This leads us to the third lesson we can learn from her: how to keep faith alive even when hope seems lost. Hannah's journey wasn't easy. Year after year, she went to the temple, pouring out her heart to God. Many women would have given up after facing disappointment so many times, but Hannah held on to her faith. This teaches us that God's delays are not his deniers. Even when the promise seems far away, don't stop believing, keep trusting, keep praying, and keep hoping. Hannah's story reminds us that miracles often come when we least expect them. If this message is encouraging you, please, I would like you to like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more teachings that will transform your life and your marriage. After God blessed Hannah with Samuel, she demonstrated an incredible act of surrender. The next lesson we learn from her story is about surrendering our blessings back to God. It is a powerful practice that opens the door to even greater blessings. When God finally answered Hannah's prayer and gave her a son, she fulfilled her vow. She brought Samuel back to the temple and said in 1 Samuel chapter 1 verse 28, "Therefore also I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he lives, he shall be lent to the Lord." This incredible act of surrender didn't take away Hannah's joy. It multiplied it. God blessed her with 5 more children after Samuel, 3 sons and 2 daughters, as we see in 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 21. When you honor God with your blessings, he will pour out even greater abundance into your life. As we reflect on the beauty of Hannah's surrender, we must also remember the pain caused by Peninnah's mockery. The next lesson is critical. Never ridicule a woman for her childlessness. Peninnah's mockery of Hannah teaches us an important lesson. Never ridicule a woman for her childlessness. No one knows the deep pain that woman is carrying. You might see her without a child, but you don't see her silent tears, her prayer-filled night, and the emotional battles she is fighting. Instead of mocking, let's be encouragers. Let's lift others up, especially when they are going through tough times. A kind word, an encouraging gesture can make a world of difference. Finally, as we see throughout Hannah's story, trusting God's timing and plan is essential, especially when things don't happen as quickly as we hope. This final lesson highlights why God's timing is always perfect. Hannah's story reminds us that God's timing is perfect. She could have questioned why Peninnah had children while she remained barren, but instead she trusted God's plan. This is something a lot of us are not doing, and we need to start doing that. As we can see, Samuel wasn't just any child, he was a prophet, he was a leader and a significant figure in Israel's history. God's timing for Hannah wasn't just about her, it was about fulfilling his divine plan. Do you remember Rachel's cry in Genesis 30 verse 1? Give me children or else I die. That cry captures the deep ache of waiting for a blessing that seems impossible. It is the same ache Hannah felt as Peninnah mocked her mercilessly and as Eli misjudged her intentions. But through faith, grace, and unwavering persistence, Hannah's story turned from one of despair to one of triumph. If you have been waiting for the fruit of the womb, or you have been believing God for a blessing, I want to say to you, take heart. Hannah's story shows us that God is faithful, even when the wait feels long and the pain feels unbearable. Let me encourage you to turn your pain into prayer. Respond with grace when you feel provoked, and trust God with your story. And if you are tempted to give up, remember this: Hannah's breakthrough came after years of waiting and hoping. Yours could be just around the corner. Now, I had loved to hear from you. What part of Hannah's story spoke to you the most? How can her journey encourage you in your own life? I want you to share your thoughts in the comment, and let's encourage one another. So if this video has blessed you, and I believe it has, I want you to please like, share, and subscribe so we can spread this message of hope to others who need it. And remember, always remember, with God nothing is impossible. I want you to know that miracles still happen. I am Uju Onwuzulike. I am the host, Transforming Marriages with Uju Onwuzulike. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to hearing your miracle. Thank you, and God bless your marriage.